Judge Bundleby Court is now in session. Judge, this is the case of Sanchez.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay. Ms. Sanchez, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes. I'm here to get child support. We have an adopted son.
Okay. How old is your adopted son?
He's 16.
Okay.
And I've been taking care of him by myself for probably the last 6 years.
Okay.
And it's where things are more expensive. And we adopted him at late in life. And because I couldn't have children, and so Mr. Sanchez thought that we should adopt. But several years ago, he also decided that he should have a secretarial person in his life, so to speak.
What do you mean by that?
You're not going to believe this one. There's a man who thinks he doesn't have to pay child support just because he's not the child's biological father, even though he legally adopted the child. And that's just the beginning. Trust me, this situation takes a turn you won't see coming. It gets complicated fast, and you'll want to hear how it all unfolds.
An affair with his secretary.
Oh, okay.
And so I was left to raise our son by myself.
When you say that you're raising him by yourself, he's not giving you any type of support?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if he has any money?
I know he does. I know that his parents just recently passed away, and they had a big farm, and they had a lot of land, and they had a bunch of cows, and so I know they're worth something. And he's always had a steady job. He's worked for the government forever. And he doesn't think that he should have to pay me any child support because he said it's not his biological child. And
wait a minute, real quick. You understand that an adopted child is your legal responsibility, right?
Absolutely. And I never said I don't take care of him.
But did you say what she just said, that, or you believe what she just said, that you don't have to take care of him because he's not biologically yours?
No, I never said that.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you were going to give me that answer.
Not.
Okay.
You're
because
right.
you understand that an adopted...
Like the face of somebody who would not take care of a child?
Well, I don't know, sir. I see plenty of faces that don't take care of their kids, so I can't really accurately answer that question.
To take care of my child,
okay,
even though he is adopted.
Okay. Well, even though the adoption part has nothing to do with it. And from now on, don't call him adoptive son, okay? He's your son.
That's correct.
Legally adopted, your son.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, I'll be back to you in just one moment, okay?
Your Honor.
So, let's talk about this land and cattle and all of that. So, you said his parents are deceased.
His parents died about a year ago.
Get this. This man had an affair, walked out on his wife, and left her to raise their child alone. Now he's trying to get out of paying child support by claiming the child isn't biologically his. But here's the kicker. He legally adopted the kid. So now he's acting like that doesn't matter? That's just cold.
And he inherited a lot of land that's worth probably close to $200,000.
Okay.
And there's some cattle being run on there.
$200,000. And you say he worked for the government?
He does. He works for the government, Your Honor.
So all of this money, and he hasn't given you anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sir, you work for the government currently, and you inherited some land, and you have cattle on that land, and you have not paid her any money for your son?
I inherited 10 acres. That's it. I've got 6 head of cattle.
It. Do you know how many acres 10 acres is? Sir, some people's houses aren't even sitting on 1 acre.
Well, it depends where it is.
Okay.
Well, it's
you have 10 acres. How much?
City of wherever.
Is it accurate what she said that these acres are worth almost $200,000?
$160,000.
Okay, that's close to you know what?
That's $40,000 less.
It may be, but it's still worth close to $200,000, which is what she said.
The cattle are worth $40,000.
The cattle. Okay, so to combine, that's $200,000.
Well, it sounds like it.
So you have assets and worth in excess of $200,000, and you don't want to give this woman anything for your son?
The judge isn't letting him off easy. She's laying it all out, explaining exactly what it means to be a parent, whether you're biological or adoptive. And Mr. Sanchez? You can see it all over his face. He's stunned, like reality just hit him hard. That silence in the room? You can feel it. It's the weight of his own choices catching up to him.
I'll give her something.
Excuse me? You'll give her something?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm going to make sure that you give it to her on a consistent basis.
I'm a caseworker.
Okay.
We make very little money as a case. You do cases all the time.
Sir.
I'm a caseworker. I deal with this all the time.
Okay.
This isn't fair.
How much do you make as a caseworker? No, what's not fair is the fact that you have not given her any money and you have assets worth $200,000 and you work an everyday job. How much money are you making on your job every day?
50,000, that's it.
50,000. You know what, sir? You came here to waste my time. No, you wait, because that is ridiculous. You're making a lot of money and you haven't given her anything.
I take care of the child. He comes to the farm. I teach him things about how to work the land. I mean, I spend so much time with that child.
So you're teaching him a trade.
Yes,
and that is...
And just when you think it couldn't get any worse for this guy, the judge drops the bomb. He's sitting on $200,000 in assets, yet is still trying to dodge child support. That was the moment everyone in the courtroom just stared at him. Like, are you serious? The judge didn't hold back. And honestly, it was well deserved.
However,
yes, ma'am.
Trade has nothing to do with the financial responsibility of him, okay? So what I'm going to do, because your assets, although they're not income producing per se, I can still base your child support off of that. You have
only when it's sold. It's only worth it when it's sold.
No. I can base your child support based on the assets that you have, even though they have not been sold and they're not income producing. So, because you have so much money, when you add together what you make yearly, along with your assets, what I can do is take a reasonable amount of that and calculate your child support, okay?
Reasonable amount.
Reasonable. Okay. That's what I said.
What do you consider reasonable?
I thought I was the judge and asking the questions.
Well,
so I'm getting ready to tell you what I consider reasonable, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, our son is 16 and he is playing football in school and he has all these expenses, and I have asked Mr. Sanchez to please give us some money to buy the uniforms and for all these other expenses, and he's going to be coming up on graduation and all those expenses, and this man doesn't want to give me anything. That's the excuse I get all the time. Well, I take him to the farm, I teach him how to milk the cows, or I teach him how to bale the hay. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not paying for his football uniform.
And I agree with that. It costs money to raise a child.
This is a hearing aid. I have been dealing with this all my life with this woman. I take them out just so I don't have to listen to it.
You know what, sir? That is very uncalled for.
That's all she does is complain.
Well, she has a legitimate complaint. Don't you think you have not been giving her anything for the support of your child?
Okay. I'll support the child. Just leave me alone.
Okay, she's getting ready to leave you alone right now because I'm getting ready to bother you with these numbers, okay? So what we're going to do is calculate your child support based on, you say you make about $50,000 as a case manager, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to add that with that $40,000 worth of cattle that you have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they give you a gross of $90,000. A yearly, of $90,000.
That's correct.
I have your gross at $7,500. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Brings your net to $5,834.63. You only have one child that's under the age of 18.
OOF. This one stings. The guy tries to defend himself by saying he's teaching his kid how to work on the farm. But the judge doesn't miss a beat. She says, "That's nice, but farm chores won't pay for his football uniform." And she's right. This isn't about crops. It's about being a parent and showing up for your kid in every way.
Okay, so who carries health insurance for the child?
I've been paying a private policy for him for the last 6 years since he walked out the door.
You've been paying policy.
Okay.
Where are you getting the money to pay the policy?
Excuse me, sir. You will address me just because my head is down. Don't cut me off either.
Yes, ma'am.
You wait until I finish.
Yes, ma'am.
Just because my head is down and I'm doing something else does not mean I'm not paying attention, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is, how much is that a month, ma'am?
$130 a month.
$130. Okay. So you're going to reimburse that to her every month. You understand that?
I guess I have no choice, do I?
No, you don't have a choice because I just told you. So Based on your child support, I have $1,166.93. Plus, you're going to reimburse that $130. That brings your child support obligation monthly to $1,296.93.
So, since you're good at math, what does that leave me income for a year?
Oh, let me check. Let's see.
That would be good.
Yeah, you know what? What's good? That $160,000 worth of 10 acres of land, that's what you're left with. Sell it, and then maybe you'll have some money. Any other questions?
Well,
and you go to work every day. So 50,000 plus your 160,000 sounds like you're living a very good life at $210,000 a year. And if there are no further questions, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
take the other hearing aid out.